up and eventually take out that high, and then it goes right to that 50 MA. And I do believe that that will happen, by the way. You'll see a little choppiness over the next few days, but ultimately, if you look at the spot corn price today, we were actually up about $2 on that, which is about a 0.5%, a little over 0.5%. The ETF corn did not participate; it was just basically flat today. But the one thing you have to remember is the ETF is not based off of the current contract on corn; it's based off of the next 3 contracts. So it takes into account how corn is moving on future contracts as well, which can skew it a little bit. This way, sometimes it's either leading the actual price on corn or sometimes lagging. And today we're seeing it lag just a little bit because of those future commodity prices of corn not having as big of a bounce today as the spot on the current contract did. So just a little thing you got to understand about the ETF and how it trades. It's kind of like the VXX. If you look at the VXX here, VXX really just barely down today, which is actually a good showing considering. But the VXX doesn't track the VIX. A lot of amateurs out there think that that's the volatility index. No, it's not. What it is it's future contracts of the VIX going out multiple months. And in the short term, when you have a little volatility in the market, those future contracts don't gyrate as much. So oftentimes it will lag. All right, but ultimately down the line, if you have a lot of fear in the market, then that future contract will go nuts. It'll just go and start taking off, and you'll see actually a bigger move on the VXX. But again, it's not the current contract, which is why people say, oh, well, the VIX is up this much. Why isn't the VXX, or why is the VXX up more? And the answer is simple. It's because it trades off of future contracts. So little things like that definitely are important to recognize as swing traders, especially if you're trading these entities. Intel's flat to negative today, a little bit of weakness there. I do think Intel is actually, let me just look at Intel, because I think it's actually, it still has a potentially a little bit more upside, maybe to double top. But I actually think once you get above double top here on a Pierce, you might have an opportunity for a short. If we look at Apple, guys, look at this. Apple through the 100 even number. You guys know I've talked about this as being a as a key level that the stock was going to get to. I'm not looking to short just yet, but I would say that probably will be looking to short in the not too distant future. One thing to note here, look at this, guys. You're actually at your exact double top. So I expect Apple to kind of flutter around here, go a little bit higher ultimately to about 101 to 103. And at that point, I think that's going to be an interesting level. And of course, I'll give out the trade alert timestamps via the Research Center. If you're a Research Center member, you're going to get that trade, and it's going to be a beauty. All right. JP Morgan today up 40 cents, so again a nice move on JPM. Goldman is actually weaker on the day, but Goldman's actually had a nice rally here. But again, financial showing a little weakness. TBT, which tells us about what rates are doing on the 10-year and so forth. You can see rates opened lower today and then have clumped back and gone green. I actually think, and I wrote about this on the Rand Rave blog again, is that you might have had a bottom here. This could be capitulation volume, which could put in a longer-term bottom on the TBT or on rates. So again, I think we saw rates on Friday get as low as 2.3 or maybe even pierce 2.3, and I do think it's possible that could be a multi-month, maybe even multi-year low. I don't know for sure yet. I'm watching for the conclusive confirmation signals, but it is looking very plausible at this point in time. Okay, so that's what we have going on with the TBT. What else do we have here? Amazon today continues to have a small uptick, not very much. That stock is getting short-term extended from the bad news that it had. Baidu today, look at this, guys. Baidu came down. It's weaker today. It hit the 20 MA and bounced off of it on the daily chart. Ultimately, I think when the market does finally start to sell, this is going to be one of the leaders to the downside based on the chart pattern. All right, it's had such a big run. This is more of a bearish pattern. You can see the weakness today. I don't think now is the time to jump in because I think the market still has a little bit more upside. But I do think as soon as you start to get some weakness in this market, this is going to come down very, very quickly. All right. What else do we want to look at here? U.S. Steel. Take a look at this, guys. U.S. Steel, early upside, made a new high, and then reversed is negative. This could be a short-term top on U.S. Steel, so heads up on that. I am not short this yet, but I will, again, if I decide to take the trade, I will post it to Research Center members via the hot charts and alerts. And if you're not a member here, guys, you got to sign up. I mean, take the 7-day free trial. It's free, right? Kind of, what kind of crazies don't take the free trial? But ultimately, our members make so much money basically in a month, they usually pay for years of the service in just 1 month alone. So that's the beauty of what we do here. And again, you can feel free to go look at our track record. Track record showing about 380% profit this year alone. As I said in yesterday's video, even if you only put 10% of your account in each trade, you're still up about 38% for the year. Think about that. Markets are essentially flat to higher on the year, maybe up 3, 4, 5% on the year, 38%. And we've been going long and short this year and making money both sides. Just think about when the volatility actually really does increase substantially, how awesome that's going to be. Okay? Gold today, let's take a look at gold briefly here. And gold basically down slightly. I don't see anything there. Let's take a look at Chevron. We talked about Chevron getting a small bounce. There's nothing on Chevron. Win is an interesting chart, forming a nice bearish pattern here from this drop. It has all three moving averages above current price. You can see it was up to the 20 in reverse, so that's actually a sign of weakness. That stock could come down as well. All right, I think that's all for today, guys. Have a great afternoon. Come join us at inthemoneystocks.com. Take the 7-day free trial, profit for life. This is what we do. This is how we build wealth for our members. And again, come join us here at inthemoneystocks.com.